Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Forest City families celebrate their day off with the return of a Labor Day tradition. Spectators line downtown Rockford sidewalks for the first September in a couple of years.
A driver faces charges after an SUV ends up in the Rock River. It wasn't the first crash the vehicle was involved in.
And State Line kids fill a Rockford sports facility. The end of summer competition gives them a chance to show off their basketball skills.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson.
For many people, Labor Day weekend is the unofficial end of summer and a chance to spend time with friends and family. Some
in the State Line spent the morning at Rockford's Labor Day parade. It's the first one since the COVID pandemic. The parade started at 7th Street and Railroad Avenue, then down State Street and ended at Davis Park. Local unions had floats. Rockford Fire and Police Departments both took part in walking the route. Parade organizers say this event is the result of months of hard work and planning.
Car fans also celebrated the Labor Day weekend with a vintage car show at Davis Park. Rockford United Labor hosted the annual car show. More than 150 cars and trucks rolled into downtown Rockford. While a majority of the cars at the event were vintage, there also was a good amount of newer cars on display. Rides came from all across the Midwest.
Looking at all the old cars that you don't see much of anymore. It's all becoming new stuff, which is still nice, but the old stuff has always been a place in my heart.
There was also live music and a vendor's row. The car show doubles as a fundraiser for the United Way of the Rock River Valley.
President Biden spent part of Labor Day in Milwaukee. He gave a speech surrounded by union workers.
But people forget, a lot of the trades, they forget. You go to 4 or 5 years of school, you're an apprenticeship. It's like going back to college. It's not like you all of a sudden just step in. You build a better product, it lasts longer, and it's cheaper for the business, and it's better for the country.
President Biden says he owes his presidency to the support of unionized workers. He also made a stop in Pennsylvania. Wisconsin and Pennsylvania happen to be two critical swing states with very tight Senate races that could determine who controls the U.S. Senate next year. The president's visit comes on the heels of several legislative wins as well as an easing of inflation.
Police investigate a serious crash at a busy downtown Rockford intersection. Officers were called to West Jefferson and Winnebago Street for a 3-vehicle crash around 1:45. All 3 cars have serious damage. 2 of them ended up on the sidewalk or in the grass. One of the cars, a white sedan, was smashed from the back and the front and is missing a tire. We're told one man was taken to the hospital with broken bones. Jefferson Street was closed as law enforcement cleaned up the crash. It has since reopened.
Boone County Fire warns drivers to slow down and pay attention. The department's responded to 8 serious accidents in just 4 days. The latest was this morning at Spring Creek Road and Shaw Road. 2 vehicles ended up in the ditch. No one was hurt. The cars had moderate damage. Over the weekend, 4 people were taken to the hospital after crashes in the county. Investigators are trying to figure out how a car ended up in the Rock River last night. Harlem Roscoe firefighters were called to a house on Ventura Boulevard and Miller just before 9. The car smashed into the garage, caused extensive damage, then continued into the river. The driver was not in the car when it went into the water. Our crews on the scene saw tire tracks in the grass from the road up to the garage. No word on any charges.
6 people have to find another place to sleep tonight after a fire at their home. Rockford firefighters were called to El Paso Circle near Charles and Mulford around 2:45. When they arrived, there were flames shooting from the back of the house. They were able to put out the fire in 8 minutes. Most of the damage was contained to the garage. The Red Cross is helping the family and their 3 dogs. The fire department says the house is unsafe but can be repaired.
After being gone for 2 years due to COVID, Hoop Stars returns for its 8th year in the State Line. 25 teams and more than 100 children took part in the 3-on-3 basketball tourney. The event is free. State Senator Steve Stottleman created the tournament back in 2013. It's open to young athletes from 3rd through 8th grade.
A lot of these kids love playing basketball. Parents play basketball. I think they're just happy to be out, letting their kids do something on Labor Day rather than being bored at home.
Hoop Stars has drawn as many as 400 players.
Illinois is expected to receive more than 500,000 doses of the new COVID-19 booster as soon as tomorrow. The new vaccines are designed to target the now dominant Omicron subvariants. Last week, the FDA approved emergency use authorizations for the two updated vaccines. Adults 18 years or older can get the Moderna booster, while anyone 12 and up can get Pfizer. You can only get this booster if it's been at least 2 months since your last COVID shot. The boosters will be available from healthcare providers, hospitals, and pharmacies.
Privacy is a big concern for many social media users. Some people on Instagram got worried recently when a rumor spread about the app allowing others to find your exact location. While that isn't true, your phone still can track your location. If you're an iPhone user, you can go into your privacy settings, find the Instagram tab, and select whether you'd like to allow the app to access your general location sometimes or not at all. Instagram says the company never shares your exact location, but if you enable location services, popular social media apps can use it to target advertisements.
There is a lot of information that we are freely giving up in our posts. And if we want to protect our privacy, or we want to limit the amount of information that is made available to the social media platforms or people who are going to be using that information to target advertising, there are a few things that we can do.
Some apps like Uber, Google Maps, and food delivery require your location to be able to find where you are. Also, every time you take a photo, your phone stores metadata on things like location, and that information can get shared when you upload it to other apps. Snapchat recently informed Illinois users that they may be entitled to payment from a class action settlement regarding privacy. A federal judge in Florida grants former President Donald Trump's legal team's request.
A special master will oversee the review of documents seized by the FBI from his Florida home. M. Wynn has more on the ruling and the response from the Justice Department.
A federal judge granting a request from former President Donald Trump's legal team to appoint a special master to review the documents seized from the FBI's raid at Mar-a-Lago. Judge Aileen Cannon citing the interest in ensuring the integrity of an orderly process amidst swirling allegations of bias and media leaks. Cannon, at the same time, blocking the Department of Justice from using the seized materials for investigative purposes pending completion of the special master's review. But she adds that this order would not impede on the ongoing assessment of any possible damage to national security by the intelligence community. The decision comes after Trump had asked for a third-party attorney to be appointed following the FBI's August search, which found more than 11,000 U.S. government documents, more than 100 of which were marked classified. Trump at a rally this weekend blasting the FBI's raid.
A few weeks ago, you saw it, when we witnessed one of the most shocking abuses of power by any administration in American history. The shameful raid and break-in of my home, Mar-a-Lago, was a travesty of justice.
The Justice Department had objected to any special master appointment related to executive privilege, arguing it was irrelevant since Trump is no longer in office. Judge Cannon ultimately setting a new deadline, ordering the DOJ and Trump's lawyers submit a list of potential special master candidates by Friday. The Department of Justice says it's examining the opinion and will decide on how to move forward. The statement did not mention whether the department will appeal. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Now, your firstborn weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, things have been pretty quiet, although a little more on the cloudy side for some here throughout much of our afternoon, although we did manage to see some sunshine early on. Cloud cover has filled back in, but now starting to clear a little from east to west here this evening. You can actually see some of that clearing taking place when we look off to the east with our SkyTrack camera now out of the Poplar Grove Airport. So as drier air starts to work in, we'll eventually get rid of some of that cloud cover. The reason why we had the clouds out there today, this upper level low, you can really actually pick that out when you look at our water vapor imagery, a great tool to kind of depict where you've got these low pressure systems. This shows us the moisture that we have in the middle part of the atmosphere. So a lot of dry air over the Great Lakes, and here's that counterclockwise spin, that low pressure system crossing over the Illinois-Indiana state line. You've got moisture to the south of that and a little more moisture off to our west. but that dry air up above, we've got moisture down here at the surface, so that's why we've had those clouds filter in. Not enough to give us any rainfall. All of that has been tied closer to that low and further down to the south. Actually, there's been some pretty significant flooding rain that has been taking place along the mid-Atlantic and then actually up the east coast here over the last couple of days. Temperature-wise, the cloud cover did do a little bit of a number on our temperatures. Kept most of us in the lower 70s, although with some peaks of sunshine, we were able to make it back into the upper 70s in a couple of spots. 75 right now in Rockford, 73 in Janesville, Freeport. Same thing down in Dixon, and you're up to 74 degrees right now in DeKalb. We'll slowly start to see that cloud cover clear out here this evening, but it does come back in along with a little fog tomorrow morning. So we'll start our day off with some cloud cover, some areas of fog, likely some ground fog. So you may see that over some of the river valleys, so their lower lying areas, or even over top of the cornfield. You've got the corn and the beans there too. So it's not going to be anything that'll be too dense. Spotty shower too tomorrow morning during the afternoon, very isolated. We'll clear things out again Tuesday, temperatures in the upper 70s. We bring back some cloud cover, little patchy fog early Wednesday once again, but as high pressure builds closer to us, that will allow us to see more sunshine and temperatures will make it into the lower 80s. So warming back up above that average. So 60 degrees, that's where we'll head for the night tonight. You've got some clouds out there this evening. Again, clearing out, cloud cover comes back in. Some areas of fog through tomorrow, up to 79 for tomorrow afternoon. Dew point numbers are still in the 60s, so might still feel a little bit on the muggier side. The high heat, however, still staying off to the west. Big ridge of high pressure out over the west coast, extending into the Pacific Northwest. Eventually, that ridge of high pressure will start to break down as we've got actually a couple tropical systems, one out in the Atlantic, another one off in the Pacific that comes in across the Baja California region. So that'll help kind of break down that ridge, along with a strong kind of jet stream working and flattening out that ridge across the northern Rockies and the northern plains. What that is going to do is pull a cold front through late this weekend into the weekend. That combines with this cutoff low pressure system to bring some showers and a couple of thunderstorms into the weekend, but likely keep our temperatures down. Any heavy rainfall associated with that probably going to stay closer tied to that low as that low pressure system blocks that Gulf moisture. So while we've got a few showers working in towards the end of the weekend, not going to be a washout. While we see the temperatures climb, guys, towards the middle to end of this week, well, you'll notice here at the end of that 7-day, we do see those numbers drop back, could be back into the lower 70s once again by early next week.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
And the Bears' week is off to a positive start. 3 key players rejoin the team for practice today as they rebound from injuries. Offensive lineman Lucas Patrick is back from a hand injury. Receiver Byron Pringle returns from a quad injury. And receiver Velus Jones Jr. is back from an undisclosed injury that caused him to miss the Bears' last 2 preseason games. It's not known if those 3 guys will be ready to play this Sunday, but there's a chance they will.
A lot of guys are back. A lot of guys are back and looking really good, looking healthy and moving around, and we're assessing that as we go. And again, we'll get all that information out to you starting on Wednesday. But yeah, everything looks really good.
Rockford native James Robinson will play for the Jaguars Sunday in their opening game against the Commanders. That's the word today from Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson. It's a remarkable recovery by Robinson from a torn Achilles only 7 months ago. But then we're used to this young man doing remarkable things. All right, Mike Tomlin hasn't said yet whom the Steelers' starting quarterback will be this weekend, but the Steelers' first depth chart released today shows Mitch Trubisky on the first unit ahead of rookie Kenny Pickett. The White Sox are set to take on the Mariners in Seattle in just a few minutes. The Sox are only 2 games out of first place. The Cubs have tonight off. They will host the Reds tomorrow. Well, let's just engrave Aaron Judge's name on the American League MVP trophy right now. He hit his 54th home run today against the Twins. That's 18 more home runs than the number 2 home run hitter in baseball has, Kyle Schwarber. Judge has a great shot to break Roger Maris's American League and Yankees home run record of 61 in a season.
Candace is back with a final look at the weather. And boy, today it was nice to finally see a little sun after yesterday. It was so gloomy and cloudy and nasty all day. It was nice to see some sun.
And then the clouds came back.
But
they're not going to stay long, right, Candace?
No, we've got actually some clearing taking place here from east to west, and so that trend is something that'll continue over the next couple of hours. So we do get some clearing out there, and we'll see some sunshine here later this week. So that'll warm our temperatures up, so it'll feel pretty nice. Although the last couple of days it hasn't felt terrible, just a little on the cooler side. We do stay dry dry, though. The First Warn Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. Skies will stay dry. There's a small chance that we could see a very light shower tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon. It is not going to amount to much and is going to stay pretty isolated at that. Temperatures here as we go through the night will drop down to about 60 degrees, although there could be some spots that fall back into the 50s. So as those numbers cool, you've got a little patchy fog, more ground fog. Actually should be pretty nice when you wake up tomorrow morning. Kind of that pretty picturesque as the sun comes up. You get a little fog there on the horizon. Winds will stay from the northeast and east at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. From the upper 50s to near 60, we make it up to 79 for tomorrow afternoon, 83 on Wednesday, so we're warming back up above average. We keep with the drier conditions Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even the first half of Saturday too. There is a cold front that comes in, and that could bring us a shower, maybe a thunderstorm late Saturday and then into Sunday. You've got a cooler pattern though that sticks around a little bit into early next week. We could see some prolonged 70s getting a little bit further into next week.
All right, thanks, Candace.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.